Hello, beautiful, beautiful being. I am just popping on here. This is Liang, if just in case you didn't know who I was and you're new to the group. Something came up for me today and I really wanted to come on here to chat with you about it, and also just to say, if you're doing this, please stop. Please stop doing it if you are doing it. Okay, let's dive straight into it. So I was actually, these things come up for me a lot when I'm in meditation or really tapping into my center of stillness. And one of the things that came up for me was this little memory of probably a couple months ago, before I really owned my power, let's just say, and started this whole beautiful business in my most authentic form. So I was at this beautiful festival and I was chatting with some of the teachers and practitioners who were there as well. I was there to be a ceremonialist and to share my beautiful sacred work. But I remember feeling like I was coming from a place of really, just almost like shrinking myself and hiding myself, because I felt like, I think I was coming from a space where I felt like, oh, well, this is a yoga festival and I'm here sharing something that's not familiar with a lot of people. Like, it's really new in this space that I'm in, and who am I to share this, and I came to that space, and the ceremony was such a success that it was a full-on, sold out, that I was asked on the day to run another ceremony. And of course I was like, hell yeah, I would totally do that. There was so much, it was so popular that they had to put on another one later in the day. So I hung around, and I started chatting with the other teachers, and what came up was, a lot of them came up to me and say, I know who you are. I kind of know, I've seen you around on Instagram and all of that. I've seen your work. You're so beautiful. And then we started chatting about what they do and all of that. And the general consensus is, I hear this from each one of them, is that I don't know how I can charge for my work and how I can make a living out of this, or I would ask them, like, why don't you reach out to this or reach out to that and all of that. And it would be an instant, almost like, I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know. What I share is, so common out there and stuff like that. And it got me, I remember speaking to this beautiful divine woman who was, she said, I know exactly your beautiful ceremonies, your tea ceremonies are so beautiful. I do yoga and I teach this and that. And we were talking about this studio that just opened up in our area. And I said, why don't you get in touch with them? And I'm sure they will love it. I listen to what she does and I'm like, I'm totally sold. Like, I would totally go for your class. And it's so interesting because I was really coming from a heart space when I said that. And likewise, she said the same thing about my ceremonies. And she was like, I'm going to come for your ceremony later on in the day. She never came. And she actually dropped me a message after to say, I'm so sorry I couldn't make it. My class ran over time and yada, yada, yada. And I reached back out and I said, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. If you'd like to come for my other ceremony, there will be some coming up in the future. And I never heard back from her ever again. And this is the thing that really broke my heart back in the day. Like, it really did hurt me so much, because now I see it as the fact that my ego was very attached to my work. And of course, that is really, really common for all of us heart-centered beings. When we want to share our sacred work, when we want to do what we love unapologetically, it comes hand in hand, because it's a journey, it's a lesson to learn that it's not about you, it's about them. And it comes hand in hand to understand. The lesson really for me to learn was to understand that everyone has their own timing. Everyone has their own shit, basically. They're dealing with it themselves in their own way. And nothing you see on social media is ever the full story, right? We all know this, and yet we internalize it and we feel like, we see it all, they're doing well, blah, 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 blah. And then when you meet them, it's a different story. And the thing I really wanted to to tell you today that I'm saying please stop doing is, yes, it's great to have humility. Humility to me now means really starting with a beginner's mind every time you come into a space of learning, of speaking to someone. Like, I speak to all of you and meet you at the level of your goddess being. I'm not talking to you in a way that I see you as someone who needs to be fixed or changed. I see you as a goddess, and I speak to that version of you, even though you can't see it for yourself. And so, in the same way, I think we got the idea of humility totally wrong. Because I see this so often, right? I see this in my friends, I see this in my family members, I see this in people that I first met for the first time, that I've met just for the first time. It's that you are coming from a space where you just don't own your work. It's like, when I speak to you, for example, for this beautiful woman that I spoke to, you know, I say that all these things about her beautiful work, like, she needs to share. It's like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. It's like, it's not giving me enough money. It's not, you know, I don't know how long I'm gonna do this. It's so hard to be present on social media. Like, you have to compete with so many other people who are doing the same things. All of these are just mental shit that you need to cast aside if you are really wanting to share your sacred work with the world. Because here's the thing, if you don't get this, if you feel like you're not up for it, you might as well just go back to doing a 9-to-5 job and just run a life of, you know, a corporate lifestyle where you're working for someone else and you're just happy and contented with that. Because the shit hits the fan when you really need to own your work and be really honest to yourself that this is not an easy road to take, but I'm willing to take it. I'm willing to own my work. I'm willing to believe that it is already done. I'm rising to my divine riches, whether you like it or not. And I'm the first one to back myself. And I'm not going to abandon myself by telling you that my work is mediocre when I don't actually mean that. I know my work is fucking good. And I know my sacred work can give and provide such divine transformation that it has to be shared. It has to be shared. And yes, it may be hard. People will be judging. They are always watching. They are trying to see what you are made of. But if you don't own that shit, nobody is going to give you the value that you deserve. And so I want you to stop doing this if you're doing it. If someone asks you about your work, own that shit. Own the fact that you're doing fucking good work and you need to put this out there. And tell them all about it. If they ask you, they're already asking for you to tell them. They already want to hear. So why not? Share your magic. Share it with them. Stop this humility bullshit just because you're thinking what other people would think of you if you talked about your work in that way. Because it's not normal, right? It's not socially, it's not socially acceptable for women to talk proud and shine fully about their work. It's just not. But you have to come up and say, I'm going to be the change. I'm going to fully stand in my power. And this is why I always say, this is so important. You need to awaken that deep sense of self-love. Step gracefully into your self-worth before anything else can happen for you. Yeah, maybe you have all of it happening for you, but you're always going to be sitting in this hot soup of wondering when it's going to leave you, what other external circumstances are going to affect you. And then it will just be like a yo-yoing of back and forth of owning it, not owning it, owning it, and owning it. Why? Because you're not owning it. Basically, you're asking someone else to give you the approval so that you can own it. It's like asking me, like that woman, the beautiful divine woman, so talented and intelligent, asking me to approve her work so that she feels approved, which isn't, it's just not gonna happen. It won't cut it. For you to truly own up and step into your beautiful life, the life that you're born to have, you have to awaken deep self-love so that you never abandon yourself ever again, not even for one single second. And owning your sacred work, sharing your sacred work, it takes courage, and that courage comes from the heart. It doesn't come from forcing it or pretending. Fake it till you make it, right? One of my clients, my beautiful clients, said to me, oh, I need to fake it to make it. No, absolutely not. I think the whole idea of fake it to make it should be abolished. Instead, it should be embody it, see it's done, and ask for more. That's how it works. And always understand that you're not being hubristic or proud. You're merely owning your power. And humility means, what humility really is all about is stepping into the beginner's mind of constantly looking at what exactly what is here to teach me. That is humility. Not discarding yourself, not betraying yourself in the sense that, oh, I'm not good enough for this. I'm not going to tell her. She's going to think that I'm such a bitch for saying that my work is good. No, that's not humility. That is like trotting on yourself and asking and inviting others to trot on you. Of course, the studio won't hire you if you're in that way. Of course, they're not going to see your magic because you are not shining your magic. You're not sharing it. You're so fearful. You're covering it with layers and layers of self-doubt that no one else can see you. How can they see you when you don't even see yourself? How can you ask someone else to hear you when you don't even know who you are and what you are trying to say? So get clear on that. That's why I am all about that. I'm all about, yes, I stand for women who show up fully and confidently and unapologetically as their divine, authentic self. And it all starts from forgiving yourself, from truly owning your magic. Each and every single part of you, the darkness, the light, everything. And that's when the magic happens. That is when you truly embody your greatness, your magnificence. This is how important the work is. Because until you do this, you will keep yo-yoing back and forth because you're not looking inward. You're not backing yourself up. You're not being honest with yourself. And the only person who needs to be approving, let's just say that word, right? The only person you should be looking at is really yourself. Nobody else can give you the value that you deserve. You give yourself the value. You call yourself to rise. And this is my invitation to ask you, rise. It's time to rise, goddess. I am not here to fix you or change you. Like I said, I'm just here to see you as your goddess divine self. And whether you receive and accept that invitation is still you. It's still up to you. So stop doing whatever that is standing in your own way and own your power. Claim who you are. Remember who you are and claim it for yourself. Yes, this is me. Yes, I'm showing up fully and I'm shining my love on everyone else from this space. I'm not overgiving to get accepted or approved by anyone else. I'm just here, fully divinely me, and I'm humbled by the divine force that is guiding me. I'm humbled by the beautiful power that is healing humanity that is coming from me. This is true divine goddess power. So I want you to just feel into that beauty of owning that space, just being you. You don't have to be anything more. You don't have to try so hard. Just be you. Just feel into that space right now as I speak this. Feel how good it is. It feels good because it's you. It's you in harmony. And it's meant to be that way all the time. It's not that one single moment when you're standing in the forest and breathing in the deep air. It's not that single few seconds where you see the ocean or the daybreak. That is all this beautiful moment when you're feeling in harmony, and you can make that happen all the time within you. So if you are ready to rise, goddess, I invite you to book in a free heart-to-heart chat with me, where I will create this beautiful roadmap for free for you, so that you know how to go from where you are right now to become who you truly are, and remember and claim that. And remember, this is a commitment-free call. So when you apply, please be serious and be ready to rise. I am really here to help you, and this is something I offer for free, and it could be something I could charge really good amount for, because I'm sitting down, I'm analyzing your energy, I'm analyzing your astrological chart and everything to tell you where you're destined to go. So be serious about it. When you book in, be ready to rise, be open-hearted to receive the support that you need. And that's it from me. You know, you can decide, do you want to go ahead and create that vision for yourself or work with me? You can decide after that. But really, when you book in the call, be ready to rise. Otherwise, there's no point to it, okay? So Divine Being, that's all I wanted to share today. And I really hope you take this home with you. Stop being humble. Stop pretending. You're not meant to live a mediocre life. So share that juice, share that magic with the world, and just release the guilt and shame. Okay? Big kisses. Bye.